from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
From San Diego to Boston, passionate protests all across America today. Good evening, I'm Vanessa Van Hefty. The streets of Boston packed with people there to protest a free speech event featuring white nationalist speakers. A similar but smaller scene in the North County, protesters holding signs denouncing racism. 10 News reporter Hannah Mullins is there with what made the rally in Escondido different.
People line this entire sidewalk now. In weeks past, while protesting the president, counter-protesters showed up across the street, but today was different.
But now SWAT stickers are popping up everywhere and hate talk is popping up everywhere.
As a Jewish woman, that gnaws at her heart.
If we leave this unchecked, we will validate it and let it grow.
I'm not going to go down without a fight.
It's in her blood as the daughter of a World War II vet, but Christine Jackson has words in her arsenal. Simply put,
You know, it's just not good to be a racist.
she's sick over the racism she's seen.
It feels like you just were punched in the gut.
Activists with the group Indivisible gathered for what they called a vigil against racism, but their passion gave way to a protest.
What they are is homegrown terrorists. I'm so pissed off because I'm a patriot.
She says she does respect everyone's right to free speech.
Of course, everyone does have the right to protest. I mean, there's people driving by in the car that don't agree with us. See? Did you hear that?
First negative.
Yeah, no, that was the second.
She says hate speech and racism aren't freedoms vets like her dad fought for.
But he would just say, you know, we're fighting for a good cause. And now I feel like I'm fighting for a good cause.
But here they faced an empty sidewalk.
Can you believe we have to protest against racists and racism? It's just, I know, it's crazy.
Few seemed against the war on hate.
It's like, no, I'm not for liberty, I'm not for justice. It's like, what the heck?
Look how many people showed up. Love grows, hate withers, right?
Hannah Mullins, 10 News.
Peace, not chaos, is reigning in Boston tonight. Thousands of counter-protesters showed up in the city vowing to stand up to hate. But ABC's Stephanie Ramos reports the rally they were protesting was a bust.
A sea of people and police in Boston. A line of protesters there to march against hate and racism stretching 2 miles long. The crowds descending on Boston Common 1 week after the violence in Charlottesville. That's where one woman died and dozens more injured after a car plowed into a crowd of demonstrators, allegedly driven by a white nationalist.
After last Saturday, I just cannot be silent anymore.
I just wanted to come out and confront them head on.
I like what I saw. This is democracy. This is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be protesting.
In Boston, an estimated 40,000 people showed up, counter-protesting a free speech event that included speakers with ties to extremist groups. Security was tight, no weapons allowed, roads blocked. But the rally broke up early, avoiding the violent confrontations seen in other parts of the country.
And that's what we were hoping for, an overwhelming crowd of peaceful people. Free speech, but not hate speech.
And I was glad to see that their crowd was very small.
Counter-protesters here in Boston only seen in some small scuffles with police. The debate over racism is raging in cities all across the country, many sparking as local governments remove statues honoring Confederate leaders from the Civil War. Early Saturday, Duke University joined that list, taking down a statue of Robert E. Lee, which had been vandalized just a few days ago. The university calling this a chance to learn and heal. Signs of change amidst deep national divisions. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Boston.
And President Trump tweeted out about the protests in Boston, complimenting the police and saying sometimes protests are needed in order to heal. Tomorrow, San Diego's LGBT community is hosting a rally against hate. The United Intersections of Justice rally starts at the Hillcrest Pride flag Sunday at 4 p.m. Organizers want the community to come together in peaceful protest against the rhetoric that fuels hate and violence. A small grass fire broke out in Del Cerro earlier today. Firefighters got word of that fire around 2:30. They got it under control quickly before it threatened any structures. It only burned, you can see there, about a 1/4 acre. Firefighters say they aren't sure about the cause. They say a crew was working on weed abatement. It may have been sparked by one of their tools. And we want to turn now to weather, taking a live look outside La Jolla Shores. Mostly sunny skies today. 10 News Pinpoint weather anchor Jennifer De La Cruz tracking what's set to be a milder weekend.
Pretty mild. We did see a good amount of sunshine today, but we saw some low clearing for those clouds that were sticking around through this morning, and that's going to be the case over the next couple of days. Taking you live outside right now in Pacific Beach. Pretty shot for you. Partly cloudy skies as the sun goes down in just about an hour or so. Your temperature right now is 72 degrees in downtown San Diego, 67 for you in La Jolla, 77 in El Cajon, and 76 in Poway. For the most part, we're a little bit cooler than where we were at this time yesterday, but the trend of our temperatures will be warming up into next weekend. We're going to see more low clouds overnight and into tomorrow morning. I'm tracking when we're going to see more sunshine coming up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, thanks, Jen. And now to an update. Two breaking news. The two officers shot in Kissimmee, Florida last night have died. Officer Matthew Baxter, a 3-year veteran, died from his gunshot wound last night. The other officer, 10-year veteran Sergeant Sam Howard, was initially in grave critical condition, but he has since died from his injuries this afternoon. Not much information has been released about what exactly led to these shootings. Police have this man, Everett Glenn Miller, in custody as a suspect. Meantime, the two deputies shot nearby in Jacksonville overnight are in stable condition today. They were responding to an attempted suicide call. When they got there, they heard gunshots. The suspect shot one deputy in both hands, the other in the stomach. Other deputies on scene shot and killed the suspect. And a third shooting, this one in Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. 2 state police troopers were shot. One trooper was flown from the scene, the other taken to the hospital in an ambulance. Both are alert, both are stable. The suspect is dead. San Diego Police Chief Shelley Zimmerman responding to these shootings, tweeting out her thoughts and prayers. Happening tonight, San Diegans are honoring those killed in this week's terror attack in Spain. Meantime, the manhunt is intensifying for the suspected terrorist who drove a van down a crowded street in Barcelona, killing 13 and injuring 120 more. ABC's Mikey Kay is there with new details about the threat of a big terror cell.
Spanish police raided the home of an imam today with links to a mosque in Ripoll, about 60 miles north of Barcelona. A Spanish official speaking on the condition of anonymity pointed to the imam as the source of radicalization of the young men responsible for the Barcelona and Cambrils attacks that left 14 dead and over 120 injured. The imam, Abdelbaki Essati, was of Moroccan descent. I was sleeping, then I heard lots of people. I was frightened. I thought it was the mafia or something. And then I heard police. And then we calmed down. Police believe that Abdelbaki was killed in the powerful explosion at a house on Wednesday in Alcanar, southwest of Barcelona. All 4 pairs of brothers suspected of being involved in the terror cell were also of Moroccan descent and have either been killed or arrested by Spanish authorities, apart from one, Younes Abu Yaqub, the suspected driver of the last Ramblers van attack. His house raided by police, but he remains at large. 72 hours after the attacks, the Spanish king and queen visiting the injured in a Barcelona hospital also laid floral tributes. A procession of nearly 1,000 Barcelona taxicabs circling the Las Ramblas Boulevard, honking their horns and being applauded by onlookers. A question that will likely face further scrutiny is that Morocco is not on President Trump's visa ban list, while Spain will grapple with the big problem of homegrown jihad by its own residents. Mikey Kay, ABC News, Barcelona.
And tonight, San Diegans are holding a candlelit vigil for the victims. It is at the House of Spain in Balboa Park at 7 p.m. 10 News will have the emotional tribute tonight at 11. Happening now, people are flocking to cities along the path of totality for Monday's solar eclipse. Roadways are already blocked up all the way, look at that, from Oregon to South Carolina as people travel hundreds of miles just to get a prime spot. Along the path of totality, the sky will go completely dark for just a few minutes. Airbnbs and hotels all booked. Some cities expecting 500,000 people. We will not get a total eclipse here in California. Our peak viewing hits around 10:20 Monday morning. Right now, college football is back in San Diego. San Diego State hosting fans for its annual Fan Fest. 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo is at Qualcomm Stadium where fans are getting ready to see the team play.
The scrimmage started about 30 minutes ago, and you can see the game going on right now behind me. Now, fans are getting their first glimpse at the team this year with a scrimmage that started at 5:30. The event is completely free. There's also a chance for fans to meet players from other Aztec sports. There's inflatable games and concession stands. After the scrimmage, fans will get to meet the senior football players on the field for autographs. SDSU is coming off an 11-3 record-breaking season and the largest year-to-year increase of season ticket sales. Ticket sales going up since the Chargers left San Diego.
I'm looking forward to a good season this year, maybe a bowl game, and maybe winning Mountain West champions this year.
There's also some concern that Fan Fest wouldn't even happen after 5 players got the chickenpox earlier this week. On Monday, the team canceled the practice so crews could clean and disinfect the locker rooms and team equipment. No other cases have been reported since the initial outbreak. At least 1 player is back on the field tonight. SDSU's season officially kicks off on September 2nd against UC Davis. Reporting in Mission Valley, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
A World War II mystery finally solved. The expedition that found the USS Indianapolis decades after it sank, leaving sailors stranded in shark-infested waters. And right now, a San Diego man making his way to Hawaii all alone. How his redemption voyage will help fellow amputees.
Clouds are moving in along the coast. I'm tracking when we'll see more sunshine coming up in your 7-day forecast.